All right, for number 5, we have this problem here. So I already made my long fraction bar. I see that there's 5x. I know that that's 5 times x, so those are separate items. I see here in the orange part that I have a trinomial, so I'm going to use my x factor. Multiply to get 3, add to get 4. I know that that's 1 and 3. So I split it into x plus 1 and x plus 3, like that. And then there's nothing I can do with x minus 6. It's just going to keep hanging out here, x minus 6. And then I see an x squared minus 9. And I know that what that really is like x squared plus 0x minus 9, like that. So I'm multiplying to get negative 9, adding to get 0. It's also the difference of squares, so I know that this is negative 3 and positive 3. So I would have x plus 3, x minus 3. So that's my factoring things. Now I'm going to cancel stuff. If I see anything that cancels here, it looks like x plus 3 and x plus 3 will cancel. And that looks like it. So I'd have 5x times x plus 1 over x minus 6 times x minus 3. I have to write the things that it's not allowed to be. So x is not allowed to be 6 from the first one, negative 3 from the second one, and positive 3 from the third one. Right? So I had to do the opposites here. So opposite of this, opposite of that, opposite of this, and I get my excluded values. So again, we have the answer is here, and the excluded values here. Right? Those two things always, always, always have to go together. Right? So number 5. Go ahead and pause and try number 6. When you're ready, give it a stab. So you're writing this on your paper, or you already have it on your paper, I guess. But all right. So I see that we have y here and y here can cancel out. But before I even cancel things, I'm going to go ahead and write them out. So I have y here. I see from this section, I could divide each of these by 4. So that means I can take a 4 to the outside. And what I would be left with is y minus 3. Then I have y plus 4. On the bottom I have y. And I see that this can be factored. That's negative 6 and negative 1. Things that multiply to get negative 6 are 3 and 2. And I need it to be negative 1, so I'm going to put negative 3 plus 2 would be negative 1. So I have y minus 3 and a y plus 2. I'm going to look for things that will cancel. I know that y cancels with y because they're being multiplied. Y minus 3 and y minus 3. And I'm left with 4y plus 4 over y plus 2. I have to write my excluded values. Y cannot equal from here 0, from here 3, from here negative 2. Those are my excluded values. All right. We have one last type of thing here, which is number 7, and that's called simplifying using negative 1. So if I look at what I'm factoring here, I'm just going to start as normal by factoring. So if I look at this first one, I see they both have a w in them, so I'm going to take that w to the outside. It's going to leave me with 4w on the inside minus 3y on the inside, and then a w plus y here. And then I have 3y minus 4w, nothing's common there, and 5w plus y, nothing common there. So I can see that this and this are basically the same, but one's negative and one's positive. So what that means I can do is I can factor a negative out of one of these. That's going to mean that now I have a negative 1 on the bottom, and that's going to turn into negative 3y and positive 4w. Right? Notice that that's the exact same thing that we had from above here, 4w minus 3y, just written in a different order. So it's a negative 3 and a negative 3, a positive 4, and a positive 4, which means that now those are exactly the same, and I can cancel them. Right? I'm going to keep writing the things that I had from before, the w plus y, and the 5w plus y. So now I can see that those will simplify and give me w times w plus y over, I have negative 1, I'm going to just push the negative out in front, and then 5w plus y. That would be my answer there. It's a little more complicated, but if we see something that's opposite, so opposite like a minus b and b minus a, if we divide this one by negative 1, then we get negative 1 is negative b plus a. Now we see that this is the same as that. Right? So if you see the opposite, you can use that trick. Might not come up that often. All right, so we're going to do this next part. For what value is this undefined? So they're asking, like, what are the excluded values? So just looking at the denominator, we're just looking at this part here, they want to know what are the things that x is not allowed to be. Right, so it's one of these answers. Go ahead and pause and try it on your own paper first. Okay, because it's the excluded values, I don't even care what's on the top. It's up there. I just have 4x, and then I see that this is a trinomial, so I'm going to factor it. I need things that multiply to get 8, add to get 6. 4 and 2 will work. X plus 4, x plus 2, which means I'm going to look for my excluded value here. X cannot equal 0, x cannot equal negative 4, and x cannot equal negative 2. So I have 0, negative 2, and negative 4. My answer is C. Go ahead and try number 2. Pause your video. Try number 2. Alright, again, I don't care about the numerator. I have negative 6. I see this, I'm going to factor it. Negative 10, negative 3. I know 5 and 2, and I need a negative 5. So I have x minus 5, x plus 2. I know that this one, x is not allowed to be 5. X is not allowed to be negative 2. 5 and negative 2. B would be my correct answer. Good job, guys. Alright, your bronze is here. You need a partner. You're going to do one. Your partner is going to do the second one. And then you're going to get it checked off by Miss Mac when you're done. That's bronze. Silver is an independent one on page 6. And then gold is your final option here. Thanks, guys.